matches that we just talked about, semifinal matches that were as good as a state championship match. That'll be something to keep an eye on this afternoon as well. Did both these teams empty the tank on their way to get here, Michelle, because they both played two emotional semifinals?
Yeah, I had the Arrowhead match last night against Appleton North, and Arrowhead was up and down and up and down. Lots of emotions, lots of blows. They've got to stay the course today if they are going to beat those Crusaders.
And for those Crusaders, again, able to beat the Marquette Hilltoppers twice during the regular season, again yesterday in the semifinals, knock out the defending state champs, but did they put all the eggs in the basket? These are all legitimate questions on how they turn around less than 24 hours later to see if they can get it done one more time.
And the Crusaders, too, they need to keep their energy and their confidence level going on a good pace, sail right into that gold ball at the end of the tournament.
It's funny to say it, Michelle, but both these teams really did the hardest part of their journey yesterday in the semifinals. So yes, keep the emotions in check, play loose, have fun, let the chips fall they may. Here's what's happened so far. Champions so far for the girls: McDonald Catholic Central, Howard's Grove for the 4th consecutive time, the Appleton Xavier Hawks for the first time in school history. And after this one is over, there's another good one brewing. Girls Division I, top 2 teams in the state will meet, Ocon and DSHA. Introductions winding down here. Everyone getting a chance to wave to mom, dad, family, and friends here at the Rush Center in Green Bay.
Well, this is the 3rd year that we have had the Boys State Tournament here in Green Bay. It had been played at Wisconsin Lutheran College for many years because most of the teams that play boys volleyball are from southeast Wisconsin. We did have the COVID year where you had the boys matches, I believe, in Burlington.
Burlington, yes.
So drew a nice crowd from the Arrowhead area, Heartland Arrowhead, and a nice crowd from Catholic Memorial, which is out in Waukesha.
Well, and the idea was, let's put the boys on the big stage, the bigger stage, if you will, here in Green Bay, and expose their game to the volleyball fans that come to watch the girls. And I think we've seen the payoff as you get a look at the officials. Again, theme all day, all females all the time. Celebration of 50 years of Title IX. Jody Whitty will be the R1, Jen Kemetz the R2, and the line judges joining them to work this boys state championship match.
And Jody Whitty has worked a ton of boys matches. She has officiated both your son and my son back in their days playing at Kettle Moraine and Brookfield Central, respectively.
I don't remember ever yelling at Jody either, but I could be mistaken. Saw Danny Brozinski, first-year head coach, but he's been in the program for a long time. Took over this year and upped the ante. Pushed these guys to push themselves a step further. They were here last year, so was Arrowhead, but CMH went out in the quarterfinals. Arrowhead exited in the semifinals. It's the 9th trip to state ever for Arrowhead. First time they're ever playing in a title match, Michelle. And for CMH, their 15th trip to state. They've got 3 gold balls, 2000, 2010, and 2016. They both go home with hardware, but who gets the better of the other team in this Classic 8 rematch? Number 4 if you're scoring at home.
Well, there's so many players on these two teams that play on the club scene together, and so they know each other really well. And it's tough to play your buddies who are on the other side of the net because you always want what's best for them. But of course, be a little selfish. Take the gold ball for yourself.
Yeah, it was an interesting scene when CMH won yesterday to beat Marquette. Big celebration, and the Arrowhead guys had just won their match. Some of those guys that know the other guys in the yellow and blue, they came running over and hugged them. But now, you put the love aside. All the love goes out the window. It's back to being opponents. Arrowhead on the left of your screen in the red and Columbia blue. Memorial in the blue and gold on the right of your screen. Best of 5 sets to claim a title. And Vinny Coelho going all out to keep this point alive. Javier to the front row. Down the line, deadened by Coelho. Vinny, another swing. And it bounces back on the big block in the net.
Exactly what Coach Mechanic said. We've got to own the net and get those blocks. And when you have a kid like Chaz Billick, who's listed as 6'10", he's got to use that frame.
Yeah, that's his job. Billick is there to be disruptive at the net. Disruptive, though, is Botus as well. Greg Botus is 6'5", and his main calling card, bring the D.
Yeah, Botus, the senior on this squad, elevates up and just says, Bennett Wenzel, no way.
That serve went into the Arrowhead bench, and Dennis Mechanic, he went back to his playing days. Point for the Warhawks, overshoot there. You're gonna see a lot of aggressive serving by both squads. It's part of the boys' game. Marquette believes in it. These two teams believe in it. They're gonna go for broke from the service line. A lot of talented jump servers. They'll live with the results.
Oh, great get from Ryan Brown.
Oh, and then Basaric thought he had it measured, and Jack whiffed.
Yeah, I had that conversation with Brian Mushmer, the head coach from Germantown, a couple years ago. I'm like, what's the deal with all the missed serves? And he's like, you know what? It's all part of the game plan. No risk, no reward. You got to bomb it in there and disrupt their play.
Yeah, you'll rarely see coaches get disturbed on serving errors in the boys' game. Nicely done by Coelho.
A great decoy in that front row by Greg Botus. And you're going to see number 18 getting a lot of touches, not only from that back row, but from the outside in the middle as well.
Vinny's the captain, a returning junior. Led the team in kills. Once again, second team All-State a year ago. He'll be on the squad this year as Basaric goes to work. 22, he's the emotional guy. But he has also brought his game up a level this year. Worked hard in the offseason to earn a starting nod. That one almost out of the reach of Ethan Hine in the middle. Go over to Andorfer. Big swing. And Basaric goes right at the hands. No fear. Point Crusaders up 5-3.
That fast tempo right here. The elevation of the hands, the double block was there. But John B., Jack Basaric, is getting it done.
Andorfer from the left pin. You want emotion? Number 8, he brings it. He rides the emotional roller coaster up and down. Sometimes they got to reel him in.
Yeah, but man, that kid, excellent kid to coach, Coach Mechanic says, and watch for him when he gets behind that service line.
Handled by Basaric. Flip it back to the big left-hander, Ben Goodyear. Goodyear's got some size. He's 6'5", and he's strong like bulls.
I love that back set from Ryan Brown. Really making Arrowhead shift across that net. Goodyear was instrumental at times, racking up some big kills against Appleton North.
Flying in from the left pin, it was Dedden. That was Brunbauer. Double contact on the Crusaders.
Now the Crusaders run a 6-2 offense. Their two setters being Ryan Brown and Tim Serb. When Serb comes in, Brown will play right side. And Serb just came in and made a mental mistake there.
To the rafters, Serb set it. And misconnection there with Roman Rothermel. Like 6'5" senior middle.
And remember, when you change setters, that does give you a different feel and a different tempo. And the last 2 points with Tim Serb in there, Arrowhead has capitalized.
Andorfer, little tickle of the tape on the way over. Big windup by Basaric, and then the fist pump, getting it done.
Much better sequence on offense there for the Crusaders.
You mentioned they call him Jack B. That's from the Outer Banks show. I'm not familiar.
Me either.
Okay.
No.
No, but.
No, my students love watching that show. I just never have.
All right. That's their era, not the old people.
Nope.
Basarich from the back row keeps this one alive. Oh, perfect placement by Coelho. He's so crafty, powerful, yes, but also perfect placement like that.
Well, it kind of caught Andorfer sleeping there in back. Andorfer needs to take a step up and read the shoulders of that hitter.
Handled by Andorfer. And double there. Tried to feed it across court. That's Ezekiel Jalen.
Yeah, Arrowhead also runs a 6-2 offense with Jalen and Logan Boulars as their two setters. And again, sometimes you bring that second setter in and it just kind of throws off the momentum. Looks like we have a little blood possibly on Chaz
I think it's
Billick.
Billick, yeah. He's behind the bench getting some attention.
Or maybe Andorfer.
It might be Andorfer.
Both of them. Maybe they crashed or what's going on.
Jack B keeping it loose over there.
Yeah, getting the crowd going.
It's an interesting dynamic. These two Classic A teams. Do they like each other? Okay, no.
Let's be honest.
But that's, you know, I was talking with one of the parents, and Danny Brozinski and Dennis Mechanic, I mean, they don't hate each other. And the players, like you said, Michelle, a lot of them play club together. So they're bitter rivals when they have to be, when they step between the lines on the court. I think that talk it's mostly between, you know, the fans.
The fans,
the
for
school,
sure.
You know, outside the students.
For sure.
And you say, I don't like them because they're in our conference, so I don't have to like them. But tons of respect on the court, and again, tons of love as well. Coelho. Go over to the left pin. That's Bennett Adams. It comes back hot. Try the right side. Vinny again. And he plays the carom off the defense. Billick got there, but Coelho said, I don't care. I'm going right at you, big fella.
Yeah, and also that went right through Carson Brunbauer's hands, almost off his head.
Crusaders by 3. Here's Rothermel. Go back to Brunbauer. There you go. Brunbauer goes 6-1. Good hops.
Yeah, took that between the antenna and the block. Right around Coelho. Nice set from Arrowhead, too, to give him space to work.
Boulars in to serve. Arrowhead trying to chip away at the deficit. And a little chip by Ryan Brown. Let's get it up and over and down to kiss the floor. Brown's a senior captain, 2-year varsity starter. Played setter, right side, and outside this season, Michelle. He's the true utility guy. Billick took a swing at it. So did Goodyear. Fight at the net, contact by Billick. He doesn't think so.
Yeah, the bigs went up. Greg Bodis, Chaz Billick.
Adams gets it. Cross court it goes to Wenzel. Wide of the mark. This is the target. 13-8 Crusaders. Brown to serve again. Oh boy, an ace. Came in hot and heavy. Dennis Mechanic, Arrowhead. Let's huddle, boys. Timeout on the court.
That was a wicked line drive serve. Kind of like a backdoor splitter. Had a little bit of movement on it at the end.
So if you look at the numbers of Catherine Memorial, we can provide you the history. 3 state titles, there they are, all in the 2000s since they joined the WIAA in the year 2000. But it's their 15th trip overall, and they've won some WISA titles too, which would take us off the page on your TV screen. And the numbers from this year, if you look at the body of work, you're saying, well, these guys, how did they get in? 4th place in the Conference 8? Classic 8 rather. Classic 8 is probably the best conference top to bottom for boys volleyball. So they didn't do well in conference play there, but in tournament play, they were successful. And of course, the only team in the state to beat Marquette, not once, not twice, but 3 times, including yesterday.
Well, and I talked to Jake Costin, the Marquette coach, when I saw him on Thursday, and I said, all right, take Marquette out, or, Marquette out of the equation. Who's going to win this? And he said Catholic Memorial. He said their record in the Classic 8 is not consistent with the level of play. And he said they have been hot and cold all year, but he said when they put it all together, they are difficult to beat.
And there were some losses during the season, to be sure, that were head scratchers. But they also had impressive victories as Andorfer hits it into the net. Impressive victories. And what CMH did was not let the losses get them down. They still had their eyes on the prize, which was to be where they are tonight. They're opening up a big lead. Drop it down by 1. 15-9 now on the overshoot. But here's Bennett Adams. Goes to the libero, Brady Oberfell. He's a good one. Big hands at the net there. Bodis was lurking. Pounded by Coelho. Over to Andorfer. Slowed down again. Wind up Coelho. Blocked by Billick. And then blasted by Billick. And he somehow snuck it in on the red tile.
Wow, that ball came back fast from the Crusaders, and Billick explosive up and explosive down.
Overshoot by Adams. Check it out.
Yeah, that one off of Bodis's hand. Just snuck it in between Coelho and the line.
That one wide. Get used to it.
A lot of spin on that ball.
So the lead is 5 for CMH. In to serve. Heberlein. Voted the best server by his teammates. From the middle, Bodis. Bodis leads the team in total blocks this year, but occasionally when he's patrolling the middle, like here, gets clean looks and gets good finishes, Michelle.
Well, and that started with a great pass from Brady Oberfell. I mean, Ryan Brown really could have gone anywhere with that ball and put it up to number 5. Great dig by Brown there.
Oberfell over to Goodyear. Adams to the front row. Big hands up in the air again on the Memorial side. From the back row, Coelho.
Nice dig.
Bennett Adams, 2 swings at it in that sequence. Goodyear. Adams, no answer.
And Goodyear just takes a mighty swing on it, going for high hands. I believe it tipped off the block and then off of Adams out of bounds.
Ben's also a really good varsity basketball player at CMH. Had career highs in the sectional play in kills. Big reason that Memorial was able to get here. Opening it up once again, CMH up by 8. Soft set in the middle and getting it done, Ethan Hine.
When you can stay in serve receive, like Arrowhead did right there, good things are going to happen. Andorfer had a great pass to Boulars, and that was a real quick offense.
Jalen in the serve. Flying in, Basaric. Boy, I'll tell you what, Michelle, he is such a different player from a year ago. The confidence is higher, just his physical approach. And again, it wasn't just flip the script, switch, flipped. No,
right.
It was hard work in the offseason to earn truly the starting spot and be productive.
Well, and he was very patient to let that play matriculate. Rothermel ran the decoy, and John B. just came right behind and pounded it home.
Andorfer to serve. Arrowhead down by 7. Oberfell went low, and Rothermel went high to finish it off.
Brady Oberfell really doing a great job setting the pace, keeping the Crusaders in system. I like what I'm seeing out of number 6 in yellow.
Yeah, Brady's one of the best liberos in the state. He's just so steady, so consistent in what he does, right in the mix there with all the big bodies around him. It's Catholic Memorial by a touchdown here in set number 1. Javier the serve. Nico.
I think that touched the top of the scoreboard.
I think you're right. Everyone was looking up saying, I heard something.
You could hear the Arrowhead crowd go, ah.
Well, just like if you're playing in your home gym, if it hits something on your side, play the carom.
Yeah. And that carom came straight down.
Andorfer handcuffed. They'll go down as an ace for Rothermel.
Uncharacteristic for number 8. He usually plays with a ton of confidence. He just is really flat, as is the rest of the Arrowhead team. Just real flat right now. Got to get some momentum going here, and that is a good start, getting Bennett Adams involved.
Yeah, feed the beast, and Adams can be a beast.
At 24 kills in their semifinal match, hit .419, which is outstanding for an outside hitter.
Lars softly on the serve. And double contact. Trying to get it up and over to that right side. Arrowhead looking for a late run here. Nope, won't help. Sets up, set point for the Crusaders. It'll be serve to come in and serve. Tim's older brother, Ben, was on the 2016 CMH Championship squad. Handled by Adams. Go back to Bennett, and he jammed it in.
Why not? He did a great job passing that ball. Reward him for that pass, and that's what Blue Lars did.
Adams, good jump server. Not this time. 25-17. Catholic Memorial takes set number 1 against their Classic A conference rivals, the Heartland Arrowhead Warhawks. You like this action? You like that? You got more to come. Set 2 coming your way from Green Bay when we return. A bird's eye view of center court here at the Resch Center in Green Bay. Catholic Memorial, after the feeling out process between these two teams that know each other quite well, kind of stepped on the gas, stepped up their game, and got a little bit more aggressive to pull away and walk away with a 25-17 count in set number 1. Vinny Coelho was really the table setter and the tone setter for the Crusaders in set number 1, Michelle.
Yeah, early on, getting that first kill. He just attacks it so well, not only from the outside, but get him a set in the back. As you can see, Bodis running the decoy there. And he's so patient, not super emotional, a very cerebral player as a junior.
Brother Dominic Coelho, as you look at his first set numbers, he won a state championship with that 2016 squad, so he's trying to even it up for the bragging rights at the Thanksgiving Day table.
Yeah, I remember that name, now that you name drop, but right now Arrowhead playing very timid, not getting a lot of good looks. 160 for their attacking percentage. Crusaders all over, 14 digs, most of them by Oberfell. Attacking percent 333. You're not going to lose a lot of sets when you're attacking that high.
And you see Arrowhead notching 2 blocks. They got to have more. And if not a block, Michelle, it's got to be more disruptive at the net. That's what Dennis Mekanek told us before the match. We've got to be strong with our defense up front, because the big swingers that Memorial presents, they'll kill you if you don't give them some obstacles.
Yeah, at least get some block touches to give your back row an opportunity to get that ball up in transition. But this is the Arrowhead team that played very timid in their sectional final against Germantown. They lost the first 2 sets, I believe.
Blocked in the middle by Coelho.
And then
Otis lurking as well.
Regroup to win, but yeah, they got to figure things out in a hurry because Catholic Memorial just too strong.
Well, you're right. That was kind of a theme, isn't it? As it goes off the net and then it goes off Javier. For Arrowhead, the theme was in sectional. Okay, we're down, but we'll figure out a way to come back. They did that against Germantown. They did it yesterday against Appleton North, down 2 sets to 1, won it in 5. So, certainly the message here for Arrowhead is no panic. We're down a set. We've clawed back before. Oberfell went low. Botus went high. Adams waits for it.
Oh, Oberfell kind of bailed him out on that one. That could have gone long.
From the middle, Billick gets it done.
Yeah, Billick was real quiet last night. Didn't get a lot of kills. Blocking was subpar. He's had a couple of nice blocks today.
That one rolls out of bounds, so Arrowhead. Couple of points here to go up 3-2. Lars into that, frustrated with that effort. So we're tied at 3. There's Coelho. Bombs it. Javier got there at the last second.
Nice dig.
Brown, beautiful dig. Goodyear. They want the touch. New serve.
Well, Goodyear was kind of falling out of that swing, and he did anything he could to try to get some muscle on it. Too much.
Adams' serve goes to Basaric. They go middle to Botus. Cross court to Wenzel. Flip that one back to Goodyear. Another swing at it. Billick disrupted it. Wenzel and Basaric and Botus were there. And the ball plops down on the red tile.
Arrowhead just kept their offense on that right side of the net. And Botus just kind of camping out there. Look at the press up and over that net, that second effort by the Crusaders.
Andorfer.
No touch.
No touch indeed. 5-4, CMH jumping back in front for the moment. Here's Oberfell to serve. Get it to Charlie. Adams saves the day. Back over to Wenzel down the line. Calmly, Ryan Brown goes to get it. And then it goes off of Andorfer at the net. Point CMH.
Yeah, Coelho picks up the dig. Brown brings it back to the middle, and that's all you do. Just get it back into the middle of the court. Let Coelho work his magic, which he did, and got the kill.
And he goes to Billick on the serve. Go right back to the big guy in the middle. Rothermel was there to deny. Sarge, tight corners there, not his fault.
No, and Ryan Brown kind of got shielded or blocked out by his own teammate, so he wasn't able to set himself to get that good setup.
So back to Arrowhead, a chance to tie it once again. Heberlein serve. Good one. Over to Goodyear, bounces it off the net. Andorfer off of Goodyear's hands. Coelho, block was there, but not in play. Andorfer got a piece, but the carom didn't help him out.
You know, CMH getting a lot of block touches, slowing things down, allowing their back row to pick up that ball in transition and give something up to Ryan Brown to finish up the offense.
Serve into the net.
that'd be the 6th service error for CMH, 4 for Arrowhead. Not as many as I thought we would get going into set number 2.
Little trickle effect there by Jalen on the serve, and then Rothermel in the middle. No return available.
Good read by Oberfell. And serve puts it on a platter. And Rothermel finishes it off.
Went over. Jalen didn't want to do that, but no choice. And Coelho again.
He's just so much fun to watch. Not a ton of emotion out of this kid, just a workhorse, gets the job done.
Yeah, the pieces for the Crusaders, a lot of different personalities that all seem to work. That one, Andorfer, wide left. But yeah, you've got Coelho businesslike. Basaric is the emotional guy. Oberfell, he keeps everybody in check, keeps them steady. Goodyear, he gets jacked. But it all works. Big swing there by Brown. And then Coelho's turn.
Great dig out of that back row by...
Look at Basaric keeping it in play. Serve up and over. Oberfell, serve, Basaric. Point Arrowhead. We'll give the hustle point to CMH. Warhawks will take the point on the scoreboard. Andorfer to Oberfell. Serve, back flip it. Get it up to Adams. Basaric dug it out, but off the antenna.
Yeah, little miscommunication in that back row. Oberfell was right next to it. He needs to take that. John B needs to move out of the way. Oberfell, much better passer.
Yeah, little bumper cars in the back row that time. Andorfer missed the mark in the back row. So the Arrowhead deficit remains, but it's down to 3 here in set number 2. Rothermel to serve. Coming back, tight at the net. Adams waits, fires, and hits.
Great pickup by Ezekiel Jalen to save that ball to give the opportunity to Adams for the big kill.
It all starts with Adams and then Javier. Give Adams that shot.
It's like Arrowhead worked so hard to get that point and that side out, and then they just give it right back with their serve.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part. We've explained it's risk reward. They all adhere to it. A small ball that time. Botus with the little flick at the net. Brown into the net. I agree with you, Michelle. I think even from a fan's perspective, especially if they're watching the boys game for the first time, it's like, well, why can't they serve? I mean, but you're right. It's all the hard work. Why would you want to give a point right back after you worked so hard to get one? And in the middle, Botus, yeah, flex, strike the pose. That was impressive.
That wasn't very hard at all. When you got a great set in the middle and you time that well, no block from Arrowhead is going to slow that ball down.
The kid has really come on late in the season to be a spark offensively and defensively. Got a piece of that there, but it dies a slow death behind him.
Andorfer with 16 kills last night, only has 2.
Goodyear missiles it out of play. So Arrowhead hanging around, down by 2. Adams serve to Oberfell. Goodyear saves it back into play. Basaric jumping over. Billick took a big swing. Blocked by Billick, but out of bounds.
John B., huge swing, attacking that block. And he'll flex his muscles, too.
It's the Energizer Bunny for the Crusaders. Oberfell, back flip to Basaric. Gonna be tight at the net there.
Wow, Brown flew out of nowhere to pick up that ball.
Jack B, a big swing. Andorfer on the trampoline, and he got it to fall.
Smart. We haven't seen a lot of roll shots or touch shots over the block. Smart play by Andorfer.
Arrowhead trying to chip away, trying to get up and over the hump here. Chance to get closer. That one came over with, surprised everybody. And then Bennett Adams pounded it. It was supposed to be a set to Rothermel in the middle. The set went on the Arrowhead side, and then watch this. The finish by Adams.
Yeah, one-on-one, the isolation play there. Adams can flex his muscles if he wants. That was a big kill.
Chance for the Warhawks to tie it. Oh, Ethan Hine. That's what his coach wants to see. Protect the net. But he started his leap just a tad early.
And that's because they ran that decoy and he fell for it. And Coelho just comes booming out of that back row.
The lead still on Memorial's side of the scoreboard. Andorfer blocked by Brown.
Brown 6'1", Andorfer 6'5".
There's the timing.
Yes, that I was just gonna say that. Great timing by number 2.
Hine missed it. So now Arrowhead, there's some communication issues going on. They're out of sorts at this juncture. Be careful here. Down by 4. Down by 5. Came back to Basaric. Hot and heavy. 22. Knew what to do. Timeout Warhawks. In a blink, they trail by 5, Michelle.
Yeah, I mean, Catholic Memorial putting a lot of pressure on the Warhawks in their serve. And Arrowhead not getting anything done in system, and their transition hasn't been clean either.
I told you this is meeting number 4 between these two squads. Of course, they met in conference play during the season, but they did meet in the first match of the season. It was at the Kettle Moraine Invitational. Memorial won that best of 3, 2-1. All right, that's meeting number 1. Meeting number 2, you got to go all the way through the schedule, and it was at the end of the season. That one, Arrowhead was able to take it 3 sets to 1 for conference play best of 5. Meeting number 3, Classic 8 conference tournament where everybody brackets up and they play one another again. Arrowhead lost that contest to CMH. That one was 3-2 in favor of the Crusaders. So those are the 3 looks that these two teams had during the regular season. Meeting number 4, who wants it? Certainly more on the line as well. Blocked by Rothermel, but it bounces into the stand.
Yeah, Coelho right now, 8 kills, 1 attacking error, 5 digs, hitting 417. Really good for that young man, when only a junior.
Sarge wanted a touch. No call.
Arrowhead coming out of that timeout, chipping away at this lead.
Got it down to 3 again. Oberfell handles it. Served now. Flipped over by Coelho. Hine off the net, Karam, and he was under the net. Nope, check that. Took him 4 hits. That's not allowed in volleyball. 4-point lead. Basarge to serve. Goes to Andorfer. Cross court, flying down the line. It bounced off the serve and then out of play. Even though Tim gave it the old high school try.
Yeah, Brunbauer not having a lot of attacks in this match, but last night had 11 out of 24 total attacks, hit 333. Brunbauer hit a lot from the right side last night. We haven't seen that at all in this match.
And we get an ace from Andorfer. Rolled it off of Coelho.
Yeah, this kid's got a wicked serve. He's got a jump float, a jump top.
Little roll there.
Yep.
Coelho at the last second. And then battle at the net. Little joust action right along the antenna and won by Memorial.
I think Arrowhead misplayed that one big time. It looked real ugly, and Brown made something out of nothing.
Slammed into the net by Brunbauer. Got his chance there.
Arrowhead's got to dig deep here. They've got to get in system, get a point, get back to serve.
And that window is starting to close. Hine at the net. Smart play there by 18. But I go back to the window analogy. It's still open a crack for the Warhawks. Memorial trying to close it, seal it shut. Double contact though that time. 22-20.
Tim Serb really having a difficult time trying to get his feet and his hands on the same page. That's at least his third, maybe his fourth two-hit violation.
Went to Pillick in the middle. Wasn't ready for it. Now resetting. Trying to get set. They get it to Adams. Misfires.
It was a touch.
It was a touch. Arrowhead knew it. And Danny Brozinski, he waves his guys off. This is where the psychological part comes in with the job as head coach.
Well, and the difference between this and the girls' game, the girls would be like, okay, whatever, let's rally the troops, let's keep playing. The boys, so emotional.
Yeah, they want to harp on it for point after point.
Like, let it go.
Adams.
Nice dig by Oberfell.
Point for Arrowhead to tie it. Double hit on Memorial somewhere in that scrum. We're tied at 22. And now the emotion on the Arrowhead side. They can let it loose. The juices are flowing once again in favor of the Red.
A 6-2 run by Arrowhead. They definitely woke up. I mean, they were real timid, real sluggish. Now they put pressure on the Crusaders. The Crusaders are making mistakes. Getting into the Crusaders' head a bit. Good call on the timeout by Brzezinski just to settle things down and go back to your bread and butter.
Danny is the cousin of his assistant coach in there, Trevor Novotny, who was a real good player in his day back in the day. He was an assistant coach at CMH for the 2 previous seasons and graduated from Memorial back in the day. Went to state as a player all 4 years when he was playing. Then he went to Wisconsin, played some club there with the Badgers club team.
Well, I went over and I was talking to Danny and Trevor on Thursday, and Novotny's like, hey, I know you. And I'm like, yeah, I said, I've been around for a while. I said, you were in high school and Bob and I were calling your matches. Like, I'm probably old enough to be your mom.
Yeah, we're old.
And he laughed.
Seeing the coaches as players.
Impressive that he remembered us. So.
All right, 22 apiece. Who wants it more here?
I don't know. If I'm the Crusaders, I'm going to go find Coelho.
Bennett
wow.
Ring, but it was denied on that left side.
Great up by Jalen.
Into the net, Brown. I don't know where he was going to go with that.
No.
There was nothing available. Defense was great by Arrowhead.
I don't like this combination that the Crusaders are in. Tim Serb is setting. They got to find Coelho.
Oh, boy. Javier bombed it, and we're tied at 23.
But they get out of that rotation. They go back to Brown's setting. Serb has good hands. He's a nice setter. He's just struggling in this match.
Point Memorial. Set point Memorial. Timeout Arrowhead. Just like that, the tables turn. And the emotional roller coaster going back downhill for the Warhawks.
Yeah, the officiating crew doing a really nice job keeping things consistent. That attack by Arrowhead, they went up and over the net and infringed on the Crusaders side.
You saw the sign. Doesn't hurt to have a little divine intervention, right? Whatever it takes. But back to Brzezinski there, and we've seen it a couple times. He not only has a good feel for the game because he played it and coached it, but he's got a good pulse for his players, steadying influence. You saw it there when they wanted to argue on a touch point, and he just said, no, guys, let's go. And his counterpart, Dennis Mekanek, same thing, very steady Eddie.
Well, Danny Brzezinski's been here before. You know, he was that kid that I'm sure argued a few points as well. But he's matured and he's learned along the way. And the players have bought into his system. He's having a great first year as a head coach. You know, not easy to do, to be in charge of a bunch of teenage boys who oftentimes are knuckleheads.
Wide of the mark, Bennett Adams. Can't believe it. Now it's Dennis Mekanek's turn to play psychologist and regather his troops, who now trail it 2 sets to love on the scoreboard here in the best of 5. Set 3, will the Crusaders call it a day with a clean sweep, or will Arrowhead do what they've done in the sectionals, do what they did in the semifinals yesterday, find a way to dig deep and extend this to a 4th set? Crusaders over the Warhawks in sets 1 and then 2. We get set to dial up number 3 shortly, but in the meantime, other state championship action going on down in Milwaukee. It's WIAA Boys State Soccer in Division 2. Oregon over Whitefish Bay in a shootout. It looked like it would never end, but it finally did, with Oregon outlasting the Blue Dukes. In Division 1, kind of a surprise, Marquette, who's always big time in D1, fell to Verona. Congratulations to the Wildcats beating the Hilltoppers 2-1. Crystal Ray leading in the second half. That's a team down in the Milwaukee area in Division 4, leading Sheboygan Christian Lutheran. And in Division 3, under the lights, the Tritons, Green Bay Notre Dame, taking on the Lions, the Golden Eisenhower. Under the lights and outside and all the nastiness, Michelle. I'll take inside when it's a rainy, windy day like it is today in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, I give props to our buddy Matt Menzel, who's calling state soccer, but I like being here instead.
Yeah, hard pass.
Yeah, Crusaders, what can we say? Kills, you know, attacking errors very similar. Digs, that's been outstanding. 31 digs. Great transition volleyball. Brady Oberfell doing a wonderful job in that libero role.
We saw Arrowhead do all the heavy lifting to get it even at 22. They were on a high. But then out of the timeout, they couldn't close it. Crusaders did. They dug deep to find a way to win that second set, as Bodas tallies the first one here in set number 3 for CMH.
Arrowhead just looking so defeated right now. Very uncharacteristic from the team we saw last night, who had downs, but they turned around and picked things up.
Yeah, where's it going to come from? That's the question Dennis Mekanek wants to know.
Well, Bennett Adams needs to get some more touches here.
Billick almost whiffed and just got enough of it. Arrowhead on the board. Here's Adams over to Coelho. Go back to Vinny. And he saw an opening. There was a big opening back there, but Vinny missed the target.
Yeah, rare miss hit by Coelho. Oh my goodness.
Adams hit Billick in the behind on the serve.
You know what? Maybe that's what Arrowhead needs to get going, right?
A kick in the behind?
Kick in the behind.
We shall see.
Eh.
No behind there, just
no, we'll
all
just
net.
trade.
Tied at 3. Billick just turned around like, dude, what?
Wake up.
Here's Heberlein. Oberfell gave it some air. Pushed over by Coelho. Right. Just not good. Even if the set was clean, where was Wenzel going to go? I mean,
nowhere.
Bennett was navigating near Jody. And that's a bad place to be when the official's in your way. Adams. Try Wenzel again. Rothermel got a piece of it. Over to Goodyear with a swing. From the back, Adams. He misfires. Boy. It's just a slog right now for Arrowhead. That's why we asked the question, where's it going to come from? Who's going to dig deep? Andorfer. Oberfell. Now they're saying it hit the floor first. But that's Brady. He doesn't give up until the whistle blows. Jalen to serve. Sarge. They go back to Jack. Little roll, nicely done.
Hey, if Charlie Andorfer did it for the last point for the Warhawks, Jack Vasarek taking a look at where the defense is, found the middle and exploited it.
Serve by serve. Nope. Here's Andorfer's turn to tie it. Sarge turn.
Each team with 10 service errors.
Andorfer.
You know, that was a great serve by John B. You don't have to blast it. It took Arrowhead out of system, got the Crusaders a point.
The swings by Arrowhead right now are just kind of anemic. There's just nothing on them. Not that time, as Brunbauer connects, and then he goes around the room and says, come on, let's go.
Well, I like that combination they just did. They got a great pass up to their setter. Brunbauer really effective from that right side yesterday.
And then Javier into the net. We asked this question, Michelle, at the outset as well. Would the emotional and the physical part of going 5 sets last night in the semifinal, would it take its toll? Would these teams be tired? Adams, nice finish there. Maybe the legs are a little heavy for Arrowhead. I don't know. Only they can answer that. But
yeah,
it certainly did take its toll on both these teams. They emptied the tank in the semifinals. And that is a concern. If you're Memorial, of course you want to win this in straight sets. But for that reason, too, you don't want to go 5 where all of a sudden your legs start to get tired. And then you're running on fumes. Point for Arrowhead there. Back to even, tied at 9.
Yeah, Serb is letting this get to his head. He's like, how am I supposed to set it? Well, you're supposed to set it clean, not get a ton of spin on that ball. When the ball comes off your hands with a wicked spin, you know that that's a bad set.
All right, he heard you. Found Coelho, Vinny.
Yeah, much better set there. High allows Vinny to split the block.
An ace for Brown. Got the roll at the net.
Yeah, the Arrowhead crowd really quiet.
And that wasn't easy because it wasn't coming over with a vengeance. And Hine knew that. Hanging, suspending, and then flicking it back. Saric. Adams was there. Now Oberfell will steady it to Goodyear. opening again. And Ben says, thank you. I'll take it. Ben Goodyear mentioned the old transition from volleyball quickly to basketball. He's been recruited to play college basketball. Serve into the net. Andorfer to serve. Arrowhead hanging around, but looking for that push again. Middle, Rothermel, suspension. Adams, big wind-up, big hit. Oberfeld got it, but it goes up, over, and out.
And now they've got Bennett Adams in that front row. We'll see what the Warhawks can do with number 12. They also have Carson Brunbauer on that right side. Feed him. He had a hot hand last night.
Out of bounds. Andorfer upset with himself. They need that tying point like they did when they got to 22 all, because you saw the intensity level rise up, but they're 3 away from getting there. Adams. And then out of the reach of Jalen. Block was there. Rothermel and Brown. Basarich bombs away.
Nice pass by John B.
Rothermel bombed it right off the block.
That started with that pass. Clean tip serve, put up a really nice ball to Rothermel to finish with the kill.
And now here's Roman from the service line. Trying to extend the 4-point lead. Adams. It'll go to 5. Pushed back on Bennett. Adams shaking his head like, what can I do?
Hey, Greg Bodis putting on a blocking clinic. That's his 4th block. Guess who's there again? Bodis.
Yeah, double contact.
Coelho.
To whistle it off.
Sure.
But timeout, Arrowhead. Catherine Memorial starting to smell it here in Green Bay. 21-15 in set number 3.
You just knew that this team, Catholic Memorial, just scary good. But you're right, we wanted to see which team was going to show up. And it's the team that showed up last night against Marquette.
Yeah, and I wanted to know, too, like, all right, we got Marquette in the semifinals. We know how to play these guys. We've beaten these guys twice. They beat them again in a 5-set thriller. But was that, to them, the focus? Was that what it is all about? It's almost like the Miracle on Ice team, right?
Yeah.
Where you beat the Russians. Oh, yeah, by the way, you got to come back now and play for the gold medal. And you got to give credit for CMH if they get the job done here, because Marquette was, you know, the big bad wolf in the room. They took care of them, but you got to turn around, boys, and do it again against a team that you see in Classic 8 play.
Well, do you remember back in the day when we first started doing the boys tournament together, the quarterfinals and semifinals were like on the same day. And there were some teams that would go 5 sets in the quarterfinals, turn around a few hours later and go 5 sets again.
Boy, into the net. Just can't have that here when you're fighting for every point here to stay alive. CMH 3 away. Brown on the serve. Got it to sneak in. It's an ace. Jack Basarich already celebrating. But that's who he is. And that's who All of his teammates are about to be here very soon. Oberfell, all out. Bonus with the bomber. Match point, Catholic Memorial.
That was all Oberfell there. Laying out to get that ball up. Ryan Brown, great touch on the ball. Bodis, the senior, going out with a bang here.
And another bang, and another block, and the crusade for Catholic Memorial is complete. That's a happy journey with a happy ending, Michelle. And in an hour and 5 minutes, a 3-set victory over a tough team in their own conference, less than 24 hours after they went after the defending state champion, the team with all the history on its side. Marquette beat them in 5. They make quicker work against Arrowhead to get it done. And simply put, they earned this state championship. There were no gimmies. There was nothing easy along the way. Hard work pays off for the Blue Man Group.
Well, Danny Brzezinski, the coach of the Crusaders, said, we need to play with confidence. We need to play with energy. And I saw that throughout the entire match, even when their backs were against the wall in set number 2, and they were tied at 23.
And the difference against Marquette last night, Michelle, they went back and forth with the Hilltoppers. In the 5th set, that energy, they had a little bit more in the end than Marquette had. That was the difference in the entire match. But they live and die by that. Can we bring the energy at the right time? And tonight, they brought it from beginning to end against Arrowhead. There's the result. And there's Mom hugging. That's hugging Ben Goodyear, yeah. Aww.
I love that moment.
Yeah, Mom's on the staff as well. So she turns from coach to mom.
I know.
To help celebrate this moment for CMH.
And Ben being a senior, like you said, he's going on to play basketball. But honestly, Greg Bodis stepped it up big at the end and finished that off. Huge blocks down the stretch.
How about your rookie head coach, Danny Brzezinski, a champion. A lot of other heroes. There's Brady. Big hugs from Vinny. But Bodis was big at the net. Rothermel playing terrific D as well. Basaric. How about that kid? John B. Jack bringing the, just not only the big thunder with his play, but steady with his passing game, and also bringing the emotional lift that his team needed.
And down the end, John B. had some big serves to keep Arrowhead out of system.
And now, to the victor go the spoils. Championship ball number 4 in Waukesha.
You know, Arrowhead fought. They fought. They beat a very good Germantown team in the sectional final. They beat a really good Appleton North team last night. Give a lot of credit to Coach Mechanic and his squad. They earned a silver ball. Good for them.
All right, 4 down, 1 to go. Girls Championship tilt in D1 coming your way at 7:30. DSHA and Oconomowoc for all the marbles. For Michelle Griffin Wenzel, Bob Raynard, our crew's been terrific. We're back for one more at 7:30 on Valley Sports.